Hello, American patriots. I wanted to create this whiteboard for you and go over uh, several graphics put out by Foundation for Defense of Democracies, also known as FDD.org. And that is their website, and of course the link will be in the description. I'll also will have links for each one of the graphics that I am going to go over, so that you can download it if you wish to. And the title is, well, right, it says Iran and its network of 19 terrorist organizations on Israel's borders. Why is this significant? Well, number one, the I don't want to say common, but the average citizen, chances are you either haven't or you're not going to hear the names and details regarding these organizations unless something happens where they just appear in media, let it be social media or mainstream media or any other. But there's information here and there's detail that's present that you need to know about. It's just part of being a citizen who is aware of not just the politics, but also all the actors, state or intangent affiliate organizations that are at play on the world stage, criminal or not. These are terrorist organizations. So I don't think there's much else needs to be said there. Sort of, it's a self-describing title. But let's go ahead and description. Over the last 4 decades, the Iranian regime has built a network of armed groups on Israel's borders to create instability and foment terrorism. Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, and a mosaic of other terrorist organizations receive funding, training, and weapons from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force. FDD's Long War Journal has monitored the buildup of Iran-backed terrorist organizations on key fronts: Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, and Syria. Israel has worked to limit the growth of these terrorist organizations, but they remain a significant threat on multiple fronts. Now, before I go down the list, I just want to break down the methodology that's here and how that conveys it. This is a map of Israel, and this area right here is Gaza Strip. Here is the West Bank, and here are just 2 of its borders to the north. Of course, the legend here, there we go, describes it. Now, my personal experience, I mean, I've been to the state of Israel, and I didn't fly in, we drove in, but the Syria border and Lebanon or Lebanese border, these borders were shut at the time, and I'm pretty sure they're still shut with current hostilities notwithstanding. I mean, they're ordinarily shut due to the political upheaval that's running as an undercurrent in that geography. So it is expected for these borders to be shut and remain shut. But as you can see, there are small colors here, where you can see where they are operating in which border. So that's something to keep in mind. And let's look at the methodology. This visual draws on open source information, which is such as data released by government agencies, English and Arabic language news reports, and social media accounts operated by terrorist organizations. And here we are. These are all of the terrorist organizations that this image covers, and where they operate based on the markings. Now, there's funding from Iran, areas of operations, weapons, and connections to other militias. You have some of these are you have heard of, because they're almost all the time, or at least very commonly or very often, on the lips of analysts, news reporters, correspondents, and politicians, and so forth, or members of NGOs, and these names get thrown around rather often. Abd al-Qadir al-Husseini Brigade, Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades, Asaib Ahl al-Haq, Badr Organization, Domestic Front for the Liberation of Palestine, Hamas, which is an organization that everybody and their mother is all of a sudden an expert about, or all of a sudden. Harakat al-Hezbollah Najaba, Hezbollah, and Islamic Jihad Movement in Palestine, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, also known as Quds, Kataib Hezbollah, Lions Den, Liva al-Quds, Liva Fatimiyun, Liva Zainabiyun, and Palestinian Mujahideen Movement, Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, which is a very old organization, and it's incredible how interconnected that one is with other organizations and how far back they go. Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, General Command, Popular Resistance Committees, and here you can see the logo for FTD's Long War Journal. So let's go ahead and continue. Terrorist organizations highlighted in the visual are active, possess military capabilities to attack Israel, and have acknowledged receiving support from Iran, or are closely affiliated with armed groups who do. Palestinian organizations who operate under the Hamas-led Joint Operations Room are included due to their close affiliation with factions who receive support from Iran. The visual identifies the terror group's areas of operation based on information primarily published by terrorist organizations. While most of the armed groups have maintained a presence in their respective territories for many years, decades in some cases, nascent terrorist organizations such as the West Bank branches of Islamic Jihad and the Nablus-based Lions Den are in the process of expanding the territory from which they operate from. Likewise, long-established organizations sometimes seek to open new fronts, as in the case of Hamas's spread into southern Lebanon. Just a personal caveat here is Lebanon is a Christian nation. You wouldn't know that looking at it, but it's absolutely devastating what has happened to that country and what it has been turned into. But then again, same can be said even more dramatically about Iran, which has been turned into the Islamic Republic of Iran, and it's, I believe, unless the statistic has changed, as number one state of number one nation in the world with state-sponsored terrorism. activities. There is these are disappointing and sad factors. Some data, particularly funding levels, number of active members, arsenal contents, and the identity of key leaders are not available in open sources, which is not surprising at all. These data points are noted as undisclosed, or an estimate is given, often based on public statements of government officials, some anonymous, who have access to intelligence. In some instances, if FDD's Long War Journal cannot locate reliable open source data identifying a commander or secretary general, quote, key leaders, unquote, is listed as, quote, former leaders, unquote. Furthermore, some organizations have established external headquarters which are indicated in the area of area of operations, unquote, segment of the profiles. That concludes the first the graphic. As we move to the second one, now let's look at these breakdowns, right? And I'm going to zoom in so that we can give due detail, provide due detail on this. Abdul Qadir al-Husseini Brigades, founded in 2012, and here's something that I want you to pay attention to. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. No. I repeat, U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. No. So U.S., according to this graphic, doesn't recognize it as such. The key leader is Abu Suhaib Zaghut, who carries the title of Secretary General. Funding undisclosed. Not surprised. Weapons: light arms, mortars, shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation: Gaza. Connection to other militias, member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room. Funding, that last part ties into the next organization. I'm sorry. And that is that particular organization. So let's go ahead and move over to Asaib al-Haq, founded in 2006, and it is designated U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. Yes. Funding by Iran, undisclosed. Weapons: U.S. made M113 armored personnel carriers, has access to Iranian produced arms as well as Soviet era vehicles, tanks, light arms, drones, and ballistic missiles. Areas of operation: Iraq and Syria. Key leader Qais al-Ghazali, and any other information was not disclosed. A connection to other militias, Iran-backed groups in Iraq, Syria, including Lebanese Hezbollah. Now, we're moving to Al-Aqsa Martin's Brigades, founded in 2000, and it is designated U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. Yes. Key leaders: Saddam Thabet and Gaza commander. Funding by Iran, undisclosed. Weapons: light arms, mortars, and short-term rockets. Areas of operation: Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon. Connections to other militias: member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room, coordinates attacks with other Palestinian terror organizations. Let's move over to Badr organization, founded in 1983. 1983. U.S. designated terror organization? No. And these would, such designations or lack thereof, I'm sure would raise certain questions in regards to why. Why isn't it? Why isn't it recognized as such? Key leader Hadi al-Amiri. Funding undisclosed by Iran. Obviously, weapons: M1 Abrams tanks and MRAP armored vehicles, has access to Iranian and Soviet era weapons. Areas of operations: Iraq, Syria. Connection to other militias, Iran-backed groups in Iraq, Syria, including Lebanese Hezbollah. And let's see here. Let's move over to right over here. Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine, founded in 1968. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization? No. Again, another one. That is no. Key leader Naif Havatmeh, Secretary General. Undisclosed funding from Iran: weapons, light arms, mortars, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation: Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, and it is also headquartered in Syria. A connection to other militias. Member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room. Now, I'm going to move over to the next one. Harakat Hezbollah al-Nujaba, founded in 2013. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization? Yes. Key leader Akram al-Kabi. Of course, undisclosed funding from Iran. Weapons: U.S. made vehicles such as MRAPs, Humvees, and M113 armored personnel carriers in Iraq. Has access to Iranian and Soviet era weapons and vehicles, drones, and ballistic missiles. Areas of operations: Iraq and Syria. Connection to other militias, Iran-backed groups in Iraq, Syria, and Lebanese Hezbollah. Let's move along to Hamas. Hamas, founded in 1987. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. Yes. Keep in mind, I'm going to repeat. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organizations. Yes. And despite that, there are tons of sympathizers of Hamas all over American society. Let it be on the civilian side or elected representative, or many other, which is concerning. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's not. So take that for what it's worth. I mean, I can sit here and completely how should I put it, break it into tangents and turn this into a 5-hour video, but that's not the scope of this particular presentation at the moment, but is something definitely worth pondering about. Key leaders: Yahya Sinwar, the Gaza commander, and Ismail Haniyeh, political leader outside Gaza. Specifically, he is sitting in Qatar right now. Funding: Iran funds Hamas with approximately $100 million per year. Qatar funds the Gaza Strip and Hamas with $120 million per year. Weapons: light arms, mortars, anti-tank guided missiles, shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, drones, short and long-range unguided rockets. Areas of operation: Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon. Headquarters in Turkey and Qatar. Turkey is, I repeat, Turkey is a NATO member, and it has a Hamas headquarters in it. Another thing for you to keep in mind. And I believe, if my memory is not failing me, it was just yesterday that Qatar was called as a essential member or essential ally in that particular geography, which is quite concerning because, well, it's another Hamas headquarters is in Qatar. That's number one. Haniyeh is hiding there as we speak. That's two. And, well, in the last World Cup, which Qatar hosted, Qatar had the police from Turkey come out and provide security. So, and Qatar, the ruling class of Qatar, they have purchased a significant amount of real estate in the Mediterranean coast of Turkey, especially in city of Bodrum, and very valuable developed and undeveloped real estate all over Istanbul. And the Qatar government itself, I believe the actual leader in charge has sent, this is a couple of years ago, a $400 million jet as a gift to Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who is the president of Turkey at the moment. So the relationship between the relationship between Qatar and Turkey are, number one, is well established, well interconnected, and both regimes eat from similar bowls, for lack of a better example. So sorry about that little tangent, but I'm going to keep adding information as we come across factors in which such additions are needed. Connection to other militias. Hamas leads and works closely with members of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room. A group of approximately a dozen Palestinian terrorist factions receives support from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and coordinates attacks on Israel with Lebanese Hezbollah. So that is that for the moment. Hezbollah, founded in 1982, U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. Yes. Key leader Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General. Funding $700 million per year is sent to Hezbollah from Iran. Hezbollah also receives hundreds of millions of dollars in funds from illegal businesses, criminal enterprises, and donations. Weapons: light arms, mortars, short and long range unguided and precision guided rockets, anti-tank guided missiles, sophisticated anti-aircraft systems, drones, and anti-ship missiles. Areas of operation: Lebanon, Syria, and Africa. So far, this is the first time that Africa is mentioned. Connection to other militias: takes orders from Tehran. Yep. And not Tehran only, but Tehran is sometimes directly Tehran sometimes directly issues orders. Sometimes Tehran plays in proxy for Moscow, but that's an entire discussion and presentation altogether. Coordinates with Palestinian armed groups and Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, including Houthis in Yemen. That concludes that graphic. Let's move to this one. And here we are. Islamic Jihad movement in Palestine. Founded in 1981, U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. Yes. Key leader Ziad Nakhala, Secretary General. Funding tens of millions of dollars. Weapons: light arms, mortars, anti-tank guided missiles, drones, shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, short and long-range unguided rockets. Areas of operation: Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, and headquartered in Lebanon, which is not surprising at all. Connection to other militias: a member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room, receives support from receives support and coordinates with Lebanese Hezbollah and the IRGC Quds Force. Now, let's move to Kataib Hezbollah, founded in 2003. U.S. designated terrorist organization? Yes. Key leader? Ahmed al-Hamidawi, Secretary General, under dispute, in parentheses there. Funding by Iran is undisclosed. Weapons. U.S.-made vehicles such as MRAPs, Humvees, and M113 armored personnel carriers in Iraq. Has access to Iranian and Soviet area weapons, vehicles, drones, and ballistic missiles. Areas of operation, Iraq and Syria. Connection to other militias. Coordination with other Iran-backed groups in Iraq, such as Saib Ahl al-Haq, Badr, and others. So, let's move it along to Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Forces. Founded in 1990, U.S. designated terrorist organization? Yes. Key leader? Ismail Ghani, commander. Now, the thing about Ghani is that Ghani is the reluctant replacement for Soleimani, who got killed during President Trump's administration. Now, the thing about Ghani himself is that there's nothing particularly spectacular about the man. You would think that, well, Soleimani, he replaced Soleimani, he must be very instrumental. He's as instrumental as his position allows him to be. He is really not a bright man. He is certainly no shoe filler. He's not someone that can fill the shoes of someone like Qasem Soleimani. But this is what the Islamic Republic had in its ranks. This is basically the best that they had to lead that position. So the IRGC is worse off with Ghani than when they were with Soleimani. Funding $6 billion. $6 billion. What else? What else does there need to be said? $6 billion. Weapons. Conventional weapons, including ballistic missiles. Areas of operation worldwide, of course, and Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria. Connection to other militias established. Liwa Fatimiyun and Zainabiyun directs and supports an array of militias in Syria, Iraq, including Hezbollah and Palestinian armed groups belonging to Palestinian Joint Operations Room. L.I.N.C, founded 2022, and it's literally last year. U.S. designated terrorist organization? No. Key leader, former leader, Wadi al-Houth. Funding, receives undisclosed amount of funds from Hamas. This is where, this is an example of one organization passing things along to another one. So it's not like everybody is just getting funds directly from Tehran. So, sometimes one will carry the water for the other, or for lack of a better descriptive point, one will just go and get it from an organization that is larger than it. So I don't want to use the term chain of command here, but it's more like a chain of significance, in the sense that, L.I.N.C then is not that big of a deal for them to, go directly to Tehran. They'll just say, hey, funds for you were disclosed or is present. It's just you have to go get it from Hamas, or you have to get it from this organization or that one. So undisclosed weapons. Undisclosed likely possesses small arms and IEDs. And groups like this sometimes will do the fetcher stepper work for bigger groups too. So it's not like they're just sitting there for things to fall in their lap and say that, hey, we need you to go do this, this, and this. It's just sometimes it's just them being told what to do or being called upon. So areas of operations: West Bank, obviously. Connection to other militias, coordinates with Hamas, PFLP, DFLP, Al-Aqsa Martyrs, Brigades. Oh my God. The tongue twisters because of all the languages that I speak. This is a problem I encounter daily. Al-Aqsa Martyrs, Brigades, and Islamic Jihad. So, let's keep moving to Liwa al-Quds, founded in 2011. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization. No. Another one that's no. Key leader, Mohammed al-Said, who's carrying the title of commander. Funding, undisclosed. Weapons, light arms, mortars, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation, Syria. Connection to other militias. Maintains a close relationship with pro-Syrian armed groups and the IRGC. Let's move to Liwa Zainabiyun, founded in 2014. U.S. designated terrorist organization? No, comma, though listed on specially designated nationals and blocked persons list. Take that as you would like to, because it's I don't want to add anything to that. It sort of describes itself. Funding undisclosed. Weapons, light arms, mortars, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation, Syria. The key leader is former commander Mohammed Jannati, and connections to other militias. Maintains a close relationship with pro-Syrian armed groups, Russia, and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, also known as Quds Force. Let's move over to Liwa Fatemiyun, founded in 2013. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization? No. Another, comma, though listed on specially designated nationals and blocked persons list. Key leader, former leader Ali Reza Tawassuli. Funding undisclosed. Weapons, light arms, mortars, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation, Syria. Connection to other militias. Maintains a close relationship with pro-Syrian armed groups established by IRGC in 2013. This is just another example of one organization, creating another. Palestinian Mujahideen Movement, founded in the year 2000. I just want to tell you that Palestinian Mujahideen Movement, this group, is founded in 2000. Or yes, do not confuse that with just Mujahideen alone. Mujahideen themselves have existed for much, much longer. And we'll get to that in another video. It's like it's sort of like Taliban. When you say the word or the name Taliban, everybody thinks of Afghanistan, which is correct. But there's also another Taliban in Pakistan. That's Pakistani Taliban, and so I just wanted to make sure that I made that distinction. Palestinian Mujahideen Movement is not the Mujahideen, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Key leader, Asad Abu Sharia, Secretary General. Funding undisclosed. Weapons, light arms, mortars, shoulder-fired anti-aircraft missiles, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation, Gaza, West Bank. Connection to other militias, member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room. And I believe this is the last graphic, which is the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, founded in 1967. Oh man. There's so much to say about this organization, but I'm just going to stick with the graphic because, I mean, this organization alone can take hours. Founded in 1967, U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization, yes. Key leader, Ahmed Sadat, Secretary General, funding, undisclosed weapons, light arms, mortars, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation, Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon. Syria headquarters, obviously in Syria. Connection to other militias, member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room, receives support from Iran. Tremendously, I would say. Let's see. Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, General Command, founded in 1968. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization, yes. Key leader, Talal Jali, Secretary General, funding millions of dollars per year, which is an estimate. Weapons, light arms, mortars, and short-range rockets. Areas of operation, Gaza, Lebanon, Syria headquarters, obviously, and connection to other militias, member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room, supported by Iran. Popular Resistance Committees, founded in the year 2000. U.S. designated foreign terrorist organization, no. Key leader, Ayman al-Shishniyeh, Secretary General. Funding, undisclosed weapons, light arms, mortars, anti-tank guided missiles, short-range rockets, areas of operation, Gaza, West Bank. Connection to other militias, a member of the Palestinian Joint Operations Room, receives support and coordinates with Lebanese Hezbollah and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. And that concludes this whiteboard. In the description below, you will have links to download these graphics if you so choose to, and also the URL for FDD, Foundations for Defense of Democracies. It is a long video. If you're stuck by, I appreciate it. All this is to inform you, and I will continue to do so. For love of the Constitution, for God, and for country.